It's always the worst behaving kid that says it. Like, you're like, I'm going to be out tomorrow. Kevin, I need you to act right tomorrow. Miss, trust, miss. And I'm like, I don't feel better about this. This actually now makes me more nervous because you're coming at it with so much confidence that I feel like it's going to be a problem.
How to survive the classroom.
Hey, teacher besties. I am so excited to share with you that my book, They Never Taught Us That, is available for pre-order right now. It is everything inexperienced first-year teachers need to manage the chaos of the modern classroom, including some anecdotes to make you feel a little bit better, because if there is a way you can screw up, I have probably done it. It also has advice on how to build trust with families, how to manage grading and lesson plans and IEPs and everything in between that they never went over in your teacher prep program. They Never Taught Us That is available everywhere right now for pre-order. Hey, teacher besties. Welcome to How to Survive the Classroom. I'm Andrea Forkham.
And I'm Jerry Patoka.
And today we actually have a guest with us. We have Jayson Cross. Jayson, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So Jayson, now you are also a comedian and an educator, right?
Yes, I am. I do. Well, I guess they're one and the same. When you tell people I'm a comedian, I'm an educator, they're like, oh, you do the same thing.
Yeah. Actually, so that is because we all have like a foot in each of those worlds. I actually had a couple of things that I was thinking about with that, because I was trying to think about which is worse, whether it is worse to bomb in front of a class or bomb in front of a crowd, let's say a crowd of similar size. So if you're performing to 30 people at a club versus like trying to teach 30 students, and you get like heckled and absolutely owned by somebody in the audience, which is worse? Because we've all three, I'll speak for me, I have had that experience with students and with actual audiences. So I would love to hear from you guys what you think is worse.
I would say by far it's worse to bomb in front of the students, because you're going to have to see them again. With the audience, hey, I'm on to the next city. Nice knowing you. Do you still want to buy a t-shirt? With students, you're going to have to see them 5 days a week for what, 6-7 months. I'll take the audience any day, the comedy audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, the comedy is so subjective. Like this weekend, I was in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and I could see there was this one lady, and she hated me. She hated me so very much because she got brought with some friends. She didn't know who I was, what the deal was. She wasn't an educator, which normally doesn't stop people from having a good time. Usually I have people say like, I'm not even a teacher and I had a great time. And this person, she was like a retired nurse, and I like made some jokes. She hated it the entire time. But that didn't like stick with me.
Right.
Whereas I've had some students that are like, I don't like you and I don't like this class because I don't like you. That stuck with me.
It's like a knife through the heart when the youngsters say, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to be here. It's like, ugh. Yeah. Oh, no. But then I think to myself, I don't want them there either.
You're like, yeah, feelings mutual. Right. And Jerry, you've never had that experience because you've both never bombed in front of students or a classroom.
No.
A classroom or a club.
I'd rather bomb in front of the kids.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
If I'm a bomb, I'd rather be in the classroom, because I don't get paid to make them laugh. I get paid to learn them something. And as long as they end up learning a little something, that's fine. I don't care if they think I'm funny. I'd be like, all right, my bad. I thought I was funny. In the club, them jokes is for y'all. Them jokes is for I'm talking to. In the classroom, them jokes is for Big Papa. Them jokes is for Gerald. Them jokes is for me. That's me. I'm cracking myself up. I'm fine. I don't care what they think.
I think that is also pretty fair, because there have definitely been times. And when I say bomb in front of a class, I'm more just like mean it was a bad lesson, because I don't care about making them laugh as much.
Jokes.
No, like I never expect them to laugh at my jokes. I always expect them to think I'm dumb. Figure not.
It just hurts when a lesson plan doesn't go as planned.
It's kind of the same. I'd be like, oh, y'all ain't get. All right, we still taking the test though. We gonna see. We gonna see what you got now.
Oh my gosh! Now, Jayson, what is it? What grade level do you teach, and what subject?
So I'm actually an interventionist. I'm the cleanup crew of education. We come in and clean it up. So I have K through 8th grade.
Oh, wow. So, man, what a span to
I
be
have
working
the
with.
spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah, like the itty bitty. So, we do have some people who listen who are not in education. Can you explain what an interventionist does?
So the interventionist is we work one-to-one with students if they're 2 or 3 grade levels behind in reading or mathematics.
Okay. And so, and you teach in Illinois, is that correct?
Yes, in the great city of Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
Yes.
love Chicago. Such
Yeah.
a fun city. It's one of my favorites. Now, what are the class sizes like for like I would say like a general ed classroom?
General ed between 20 to 30.
Oh, okay. So not
Yes.
too crazy.
Not too.
Although 30 kindergartners sounds like my own personal hell.
Yeah.
Now,
I've seen it.
yeah, yeah. So now, who do you think has the ability to hurt your feelings more, a kindergartner or like a seventh grader?
Ooh, who hurts my feel? You know what? I would say a kindergartner. And the only reason is I have a 4-year-old daughter. So it's kind of close to the age. And
Yeah,
it just stings a little more. The 7th grader, I'm like, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but the kindergartner, yes. And plus their attack, well, not attacks, but what they say is it always feels a little more personal.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
I think it also just feels really honest too when it's from a kindergartner. They're probably not saying it because they're trying to hurt your feelings. Seventh graders are trying to hurt your feelings.
Yeah,
Whereas
they're trying to get
kindergartners,
a
most of the
rise.
time, like they're just observing and they're like, why is your forehead like that? And you're like, I didn't know it was until this moment. It
Uh-huh.
just, oh my gosh. So I have to tell you guys a story of this weekend because it was outrageous what I experienced. Now, Gerry, you've performed in Philly before, yeah?
No,
You haven't. Okay.
I've been to Philly a lot.
Okay. So what about you, Jayson? Have you performed in like Philadelphia area before? Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Look at
I
that,
lived in
bagels.
New York. I started comedy in New York, and I lived there for roughly 20 years before I came back to Chicago. And yeah, Philly, I love performing there. I love the cheesesteaks.
Oh,
My kind of
so
town.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask you guys then, do you either of you know where Essington is?
Essington.
Yeah. In
Is that
Philadelphia. It's a suburb of
I'm
Philadelphia.
familiar
Okay.
with it.
Okay. Mistakes were made. I am very cheap, right? And so I decide like for this weekend, I'm going to get a hotel. It said it was a Holiday Inn Express, like a 10-minute Uber ride from the airport.
That's where you messed up. The
No, Holiday Inn
Holiday
Expresses
Express.
are usually fine. Okay. I usually stay in them, but every hotel in Philadelphia was like $400 a night. And I'm like, absolutely
Ooh.
not. Like I can't do, yeah, it was crazy expensive.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so I'm like, no, I can't do that. So it was like a Holiday Inn Express for like 170 a night, which is still not nothing. But I was like, that's fine. I'll stay there. So we get in the car and we start heading west, which the airport's already kind of like Western-ish, right? And so my husband and I are in the car and he looks at me because we just keep going. And the car it was like a shuttle that went to hotels, but the first stop was at a La Quinta, and they dropped off everybody for the La Quinta. And then we went another 6 minutes further west. And the hotel that we were at, they had a sign by the road that said like Holiday Inn Express, 2 demolished buildings, an unmarked building that was under renovation that was the Holiday Inn Express. We get out and we check in. The guy at the front desk looked at us like, I don't know if you've ever been in those situations where like you can feel like everyone else is more concerned for you than you are for yourself at that stage. Like I was like, it's fine. But the whole ride there, my husband's like, Andrea, I don't think that this is good. And I was like, it's fine. It's totally fine. And we get out of the car and there's like trash, like just tumbling, like tumbleweaves of trash outside the building. But I'm still like, but the inside could be better, right? And I also have the false confidence of somebody who taught public education for such a long time. So I'm just like, it's sometimes, you can't judge a book by its cover. And we go in and the guy checks us in and he looks concerned for us. And he's like typing on his computer and he's like, okay, guys. And he gave us our key and we went up to the room. That room was like a middle school boy's backpack. There was hair everywhere. There was like mystery stains. There was literally stains on the sheets. And I was like, I cannot do this. And so we went down, like I immediately like ended up spending $400 on a hotel that night because it was the only hotel we could get to that was like in downtown Philadelphia. And it was so funny because we come downstairs and we got like all of our luggage. This guy just talked to us and now we're standing back in the lobby with all our luggage. He's like, hey, are you guys okay? And I was like, oh, we're not staying here. And he's like, yeah, sorry about that. Like, didn't ask why, didn't say.
He knew.
He knew.
Yeah.
Immediately. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh no.
Now this hotel on the sign or like anywhere that you can see, did it say free Wi-Fi?
No. Why? What does that mean?
Because that's the telltale sign of a hotel you don't want to stay at. If they telling you got free Wi-Fi. It's 2026. You better have free Wi-Fi.
Yes.
That's like when you pass some
Good point.
apartments and it says luxury apartment homes. They nasty. You don't want to be around them. Nah, they got leaves in the living room if it says luxury on it. You don't want to stay in the hotel. It's like, yeah, we got free Wi-Fi. It's like, that's the bare minimum, dog. That's like, you like, hey, we got beds. Like,
yeah. It was pretty bad. And then like we were standing in the lobby waiting and we call an Uber. And as I'm watching this, like I'm watching him on like the little Uber on the app and I see the guy come down the road past the first demolished building. And all of a sudden I see him like flip around and gun it in the opposite direction and canceled the ride. And I was like, oh, we are so deeply unsafe that the Ubers are like, nope, not doing it. And so we ended up waiting for another 10 minutes and we finally got an Uber to pick us up, but only I think because these two clean-cut looking, very young guys got out of this guy's Uber at the hotel we were staying at, but then there was a next door motel that had hourly rates on it on the side.
Oh.
And so I think they were going to have some hourly rate type of fun because they got out of the car and looked at us and were kind of like avoiding eye contact with my husband and I. And then the Uber took us and we survived. But it was one of those where like, if the Uber won't pick us up, and then I told this story in Pottstown, the like deep soul gasp that I got from the crowd when I was like, yeah, so we accidentally booked a hotel in Essington, and everyone was like, oh no. Like the amount of people like DMing me after too and being like, my husband's a cop. He said that place is a crack den. Like you can't be in there. And I'm like, we were in danger. And I had no idea. I was like, it's fine, right? And but the way that guy that was checking us in looked at me, it reminded me of the way that we look at first year teachers when they first start teaching with you, where it's like, you're in more danger than you realize you are right now. Like things are about to get absolutely wild for you.
Give them the look. Good luck.
Exactly. Yes. The exact look. It just, oh my gosh. So now you are an interventionist. So did you ever do like full classroom teaching or have you always done this?
I always did this. I don't have the disposition to be with the same people for 8 hours straight. I would lose my mind. 30 minutes to an hour is all I have with them. If it's not work, it's like being an uncle, you know? You spend some time with it. If it's not working, go back to mom or dad.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's true. So now how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh my gosh. I started comedy because after college, I started doing print and commercials things and I went to New York. That was back in 2001. And I probably started comedy shortly afterwards, but really didn't take it seriously to around 2013, 2014, around that time.
Wait, how old are you?
I know.
47.
How old?
What?
47.
Guys, I just need you to know if you're only
1978,
listening to
I'm
this.
like the oldest one here. I'm 27.
Guys, I need you to know.
guys are babies. I'm like 20 years older than you guys.
I'm not. I'm 39. Jerry is a baby. I'm
Oh,
39.
he's a baby.
But yeah. I need you guys all to know though that Jayson looks no older than 25. So that is
Oh my
a shocking
gosh, God
thing to
bless
hear.
your
No, man, I
heart.
thought we was the same age.
God bless you. I
What's
wish
that
my
say
students
about
felt the
us?
same way.
Are you
No.
doing better? Are you doing that well, or am I doing that poorly?
Maybe
Or
that's
it could be-
he's
Go on.
microdosing student interactions, I think is what it is. Is as opposed
Honestly,
to us
I
that's
think
just,
it helps. I really think it helps because first time they asked me to sub for the cluster room. Do you guys have cluster rooms where you are?
No, I don't know what
No.
that is.
So you guys have IEPs or you have ISP? So same
We
thing.
got IEPs.
So that's the classroom with all the IEPs. First time I substituted in the classroom for 4 hours. I got bit within the first 5 minutes, and I found 2 gray hairs. And I said, "Oh gosh, I see how the teacher in there went gray after 1 year."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like the years of being a teacher, depending on what you teach and where you teach and all of that good stuff, but it reminds me of when you see those pictures of presidents like before they started their presidency, and then 4 years later they've aged like 20 years.
Yeah.
I have you guys ever had your students see an older picture of you in like an older yearbook? Because my students always would do that. They would like dig up and find old yearbook pictures from like my first year teaching and then print them out and then post them around my classroom just to remind me like how far I had fallen. And I'm like, that is diabolical behavior.
You had some PIs in your class.
Oh, yeah.
There are no pictures of me lingering around
You just
at
delete
any
them.
school
They
I
don't
work.
exist.
Yeah, nothing. Not on the
They see
website
my
or anything.
picture on my email, and I had hair.
I literally cannot imagine you with hair, Jerry.
It's like this, but with hair.
It hasn't even been that long though. How because you started teaching how many years ago? 3, 4, 4?
4 or 5.
Or
Did you shave your head because you were going bald or just because?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So how bad was the balding pattern happening before you made the?
It wasn't even really a pattern. It was just thin. It was it was back there a bit, and it was thin. I probably could grow hair now, but I got a little bald spot going on back there, like Woody, like in the Toy Story trailer.
The new one, new one that's coming out. Yeah, I mean, you could just fly to Turkey and get a hair transplant.
You
I've heard
could.
about those.
Yeah,
I heard about it too.
Yeah, they're like I think $3,000 or something. They're not even that expensive. It's just
It.
I mean, it's miracles
I
what they
want to
can
go
do
get
these
some
days.
teeth first.
Well, where does the hair come from? Is my question. Is it like a weave for men?
They
No,
could get it off my back.
no, they don't. They don't do that because I was wondering about that because I feel like a lot of men like they'll lose their hairline, but then it just goes straight to their back. It's not
Amen.
that because different hair that grows there. So they say they pull from like the sides, which also tends to be a spot that like you don't lose as much hair, and then they transplant it up, usually just
so
like
they
into
fill
the
in
temples.
the cul-de-sac.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you was getting some like left over. I ain't know that you was getting it from your head still. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
Leftover?
they was going. I thought they was making their own.
What, Jerry? What does that
Like
mean?
I thought you was getting some hair. Like I thought they just had
From
hair.
a person, like a transplant from another human.
Wherever.
Yeah, like a weave. I thought
But
it
no,
was like
okay.
a weave. Yeah, and I
But a
have like
weave
half
I
is
ain't
like
really
coarse
pulled
hair,
from
so-
your head.
half the
Jerry.
hair is coarse, half of it's fine. It went.
I got better comb over on my back than I did when I had hair.
Ew. That's so gross. No, they transplant it from different parts of your own head because I would think it would like reject if you
You can
tried
do
to take it from a different person. Cause like you can't just plop it in there, right?
So they just redirect it.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I'm not
We
a
need
hair
your husband on
transplant.
here with these.
I
with this
know.
medical stuff.
Jason,
We-
a couple weeks ago, we had a whole discussion over.
Wait, pause. Jason, did you know only men have prostates?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that a shock? wait.
I didn't know this. All right, Andrea, finish. It's your
Wait,
podcast. You do it. for
wait,
me. I'm done talking. I'm done
You
talking.
thought women have prostates too?
I didn't know for sure. I didn't know. I just thought men like had more beef with theirs.
Okay,
Like, I thought that's why we was getting ours checked all the time.
to be
I
fair,
never
Jason
think about
is.
theirs.
To be fair, Jerry, Jason is at the age where he's had to have it checked at this point.
No, I haven't had it checked yet.
Oh, you should go to the doctor,
You need to
Jason.
do that.
I haven't had it checked yet. I have 3 colonoscopies in 1 year, but my prostate is fine.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, that's great.
Well, hey,
That's
hey, man,
great.
they probably double checked the prostate while they was in there.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
guessing
think that's how
they
that-
checked everything.
Hey,
I'm not
look,
going to say
I-
that's not how that works.
Hey, look,
'cause
I just found out I had one, so I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we were having a discussion, and I and the guest we had were also very wrong. Like we were making Jerry feel stupid about not knowing that only men had prostates, but then we proceeded to continue with a lot of information that was very incorrect
Yes.
about who checks the prostate and what the prostate does and all of that stuff. And the
Well,
great
that's
irony,
that's the defining organ for men.
it is very
Yeah.
important, right?
Yeah, because testes and ovaries are similar. They just,
we should have had Jayson on.
penis and clitoris, similar.
Right?
Is this
right?
intervention happening right now on the podcast?
It was so bad though, because I thought that the prostate and the ovaries were like the same thing instead of the testes and the ovaries. And so that was part of my confusion. And
Gotcha.
my husband is a physician assistant. And so he went to like PA school and all of that. And so I was telling him how dumb Gerry was. And he looked at me and was like, Andrea, you're also dumb. Like, I was all like as dumb, but about different things than he was dumb with. It's not better. And I was like, no, I feel like I can still feel like I've got the high ground. He's like, you cannot actually, because you said it with such authority.
Yeah.
And you should
At least
apologize.
I claimed ignorance. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. You was
Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law.
This is the third or fourth week in a row we've talked about this. We're going to have to change the name of this podcast to How to Survive the Prostate Exam.
Well,
that's going to pull from a very different crowd than I think previous episodes might if we adjusted it in that way.
Yeah, people like from Jason's age group.
Yeah.
Listen.
And I'm not getting my oil checked until I'm 50.
See?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm good.
Unless
my blood
cars
test tell me
can go
otherwise.
2,000 miles past the sticker
Yeah,
before you get to the oil change. There you go.
I'm not getting my oil checked until I'm 50, man. Nope.
On that very special note, I think we're going to take a very quick break, guys. And we will be right back. Have you ever wondered what I would say if my mother and my administrators weren't watching every single thing I do on social media? Well, that's exactly what my stand-up show is. And I'm going to be coming to a town near you super soon. You can get tickets at educatorandrea.com/tickets. All right. Welcome back, teacher besties. So, wow, what a journey we've gone on.
Yes.
Already. But I think we actually do have some questions that were sent in for us today. So one of the questions we got sent in is, what do you think is one of the most suspicious student phrases or things that they say? Like, what is something that would immediately be a red flag to you if they were like, hey, fill in the blank statements, and immediately be like, oh, like
when they say that's cap, I'm like, why do you think I'm lying? Because they don't think I know what it means. And I'm like, I know what cap means. Well, why are you capping, Mr. Cross? Well, they don't even call me Mr. Cross. They call me Mr. Cross. I'm like, dude, start using S's. They say Mr. Cross. Mr. Cross. I say, dude, Mr. Cross.
I weirdly have. So my walk-up song that I always use is Get Low. And if I have somebody
from
that
the
asks,
window to the wall,
no, is
from
that
the
the same
window
one?
to the wall,
No, that's a different
to the
one,
sweat
right?
drop down my.
No, not that one.
It's
Just
the same one.
Is it? I just don't listen to that part. No, it's literally just like the beginning. I only listen to the beginning part when I come up. But my problem is that when people say, who's it by? I have to say Lil Jon. And I feel so stupid when I say it, because if I say Lil Jon,
you can't say the T.
I can't say Little John. Little Jonathan is horrible. And there's no way for me to say it that doesn't sound like so embarrassing, because they're like, who do you think you are? But I love that song and I love walking up to it. And so every time and most of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, people are like, oh yeah, I got you. But there has been a couple of times where someone's been like, who's that by? Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
It's so embarrassing. Okay, I'm trying to think of a good one for that I'm immediately like
completely remember when kids were saying Sigma?
Yeah.
I did not know what that meant, and apparently it means nothing, or like you're like, it's the opposite of alpha or whatever. I thought it was a new iteration of Ligma.
Yeah.
So I would get so mad, kids
like
saying Sigma, I'd say, don't say that, you don't know what that means. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, you know what it means, and I know what it means. I'm not explaining to you what this means, but you're not allowed to say that. And little did I know, it really meant nothing, but I thought it was like ligma.
I just got what ligma means because I was about to ask, what does ligma mean? And
You
I
just set
finished
them up. It would be
I finished
too
the phrase.
And 10 years ago, I would have had the perfect response for you.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the funny thing. I think that if like after teaching for a certain amount of time, you jump to the dirtiest possible conclusion because you're like traumatized into it, where you're just like, it means something gross. It means something gross. Anytime there's like a nonsense name in a review game, I immediately say it out loud in my head, where I'm just like, how can that be deeply upsetting?
How can
possibly
that be perverted?
Right. How can it either be perverted or racist or offensive in some way? And I'm like saying it in my head so that way I don't say it out loud to them. Because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, that's great. Bend over is first. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Like, that's not great. Because I feel like usually it's ones like that are just very like basic. But then if it's just a random word, I'm like, I don't trust it.
You know, it's another one. It's not a phrase, but they do something like this.
Oh, the little this?
Yeah, and I'm like,
I do that all the time.
I was going to
and
say,
I'm like,
Jerry.
wait, what is this? Is dirty? Like, what are these? I said, do I need to call Department of Children's Services? Like, why are they?
Right. Like, what
I
are
I
you?
don't think it's dirty. I just think it's
No, they're like saying like, check out my jawline.
Yes,
right? Isn't that what
from
it is?
mewing. They were doing like,
yeah. That was like a flash in the pan. I feel like they've kind of stopped doing that a little bit. But you know what? What gets me every time is when they're like, "No, miss, trust, just trust, miss, trust," and like pound their chest a little bit. That immediately suspicious. No. If someone goes, "No, miss, just trust," and I'm like, I now am more nervous than I was before you said that. Like now, I feel.
That's affirming to me. I'd be like, all right, big dog, like big trust, like don't let me down, like you got it. You got it on locks, man. You're good, man.
Except it's always the worst behaving kid that says it. Like, you're like, I'm going to be out tomorrow. Kevin, I need you to act right tomorrow. Miss, trust, miss. And I'm like, I don't feel better about this. This actually now makes me more nervous because you're coming at it with so much confidence that I feel like it's going to be a problem.
Oh, they cut up instantly. The worst, too, is the first time I realized a student was lying to me and he played me. It was a kid. He was he had a wheelchair and he was like, "No, Mr. Cross, I get 10 extra minutes for lunch." And I'm like, "Okay." And then, I let him eat lunch. Then the principal, "What the hell are you doing? He's supposed to be in class, right?" I said, he said he gets 10 extra minutes because it takes him in a wheelchair. She was like, "He's lying to you." And then he just looked at me and said, and gave me that wicked laugh. I'll never forget that. My first year.
Oh man, because they know how to play us. They're like, look at this first year teacher. I'm gonna get him.
Me.
Oh, they give me I'm the biggest sucker. They give me all the time.
It's so bad. I know, and I'm like so trusting too.
They don't get me all the time. Sometimes I think they're getting me and they're telling the truth. I'm like, my bad. I thought you was playing.
No, they get me. They get me pretty often.
Like, they tell me something. I'm like, I need to see some documentation. I need to see paperwork.
See, I'm just like, okay, great. If you looked me in the eyes and you told me that you're definitely not high right now, then I'm gonna be like, okay, great. And then the next class they get busted for being high, and I'm like, oh.
You ask them?
I usually wouldn't directly ask them. I would usually be like, you took a long time in the bathroom. Your eyes are looking pretty bloodshot. And so I wouldn't directly say anything like, no, miss, I'm just like super tired. And sometimes I would believe them. Most of the time, I feel like I was right. But
so wait, they're smoking in the school?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Jayson.
Don't you teach in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. When I first started, I taught CPS, Chicago Public Schools. It was K through 4th grade. So, and I saw some very wild things. Like, I had to call Department of Children's Services a few times for some things I saw. But so they weren't really smoking. And then I switched over to the Archdiocese. So now I work in Catholic school and they're very well mannered. So I didn't get to see the older kids. But they are they vaping or are they like the old way?
They do all of it.
Yeah. I mean, well, gummies have made it a lot easier to be sneaky about it. So a lot of times when I was teaching high school, it was towards the end, especially, there was this one day where these kids ended up puking because they got gummies and then they just ate like a bunch. Like they didn't take one,
Oh
they
my
took a
gosh.
bunch and ended up getting just so like nauseous, ended up throwing up, like messed themselves up pretty bad. Most of the time, I feel like it's edibles or vaping, just because it like, at this point, what are you doing with an actual joint that is going to smell so incredibly strong and everyone's going to know? And you know you're going to have to do it in the bathroom in between classes. Like most people, I feel like, are like, nah, I'm just going to vape it or whatever. But
Interesting. Wow.
they're absolutely doing that all the time.
Wow.
Sometimes dealing too, but that was a little bit less frequent, at least in front of my face. Although I still think there was this one kid that his mom used to make like tacos, and he'd have them all wrapped in foil. And so I saw him like selling tacos in my class, and it was just like this little foil, because they were like small ones, right? And so he like handing over these foil packets, and I'm like, are you selling drugs in my class? And he's like, no, Mrs. Tacos. And he like opened it, and it did look like a taco, but I'm like, there could be weed in that taco. Like, I don't know that
he was
is
selling the
oregano.
munchie food. He was making money both ends. His friend was probably selling weed, and he was selling the munchie food.
It's crazy. It is
Wow.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
I see my wife and kids, whenever they caught the son smoking, they just messed with him. So
What
I've
did
thought
they
about
do?
that. Like if I'm suspicious, and I never pick up on it. I really never know what's going on. But anytime I'm a little suspicious, I wonder if I could like just talk to them normal, but like jumble the words up or skip the word and just like see how confused they get.
I love it. I think that's
like that's what they
genius.
did on the show. I'm like that would be my go-to if I call them. But I really don't ever be knowing what's going on. I just don't. We there's just so much out there to learn, and we just learn that.
Are they just smoking, or are they using harder things, or are they drinking, smoking, or are they doing harder drugs?
I've had a couple that'll show up drunk, or they'll put like just straight vodka in a water bottle. I've had that a couple of times, which is crazy work to have. Like,
no, I don't know about that.
I wouldn't be standing upright if I had that. Like, I can't live that life. And so I just, it blows my mind that some of these kids are like 16 and just straight vodka.
Vodka and Takis.
Yes, exactly. But most of the time it's that. Most of the time, if they're still in class, it's alcohol and it's weed, and then occasionally we'll have some other stuff, but usually not at
no
school.
one's coming in class. Hey,
I mean, it would if truly, I think if they were, I wouldn't notice that, because that's not even something that I think is going to be on my radar as much. I feel like I would be like, oh, that's weird.
I feel like that's why I know
sugar?
faster.
Cocaine?
Yeah, we'd be like, hey, where's 2 times 2?
I don't know.
I know.
That is true. If they're high, at least they're like usually too lazy to be like disruptive, or maybe they got the giggles or something like that. But okay, so we have our second question, which is, what is the item students have injured themselves with the most in your classroom? So,
like in my classroom, like related to my classroom, or
yeah,
just in general.
So a stapler for me, the stapler. The amount of kids that I've had that have like opened it and done one of those where they like just hit the stapler against their hand and end up accidentally stabbing themselves with a staple. Or I've had some kids that like were like playing around like, ha ha ha, wouldn't it be funny if I like put the staple into my nail bed, and one of their friends will like hit their hand and it actually does go into their nail bed.
Ooh.
Like for me, the stapler, every time. Kids just can't handle it.
I would say books for my kids.
Really?
Every time they open them up, they mysteriously get sick.
It's true. Yeah. They get real sleepy, real tired, can't possibly
or
be
their bladder is
reading.
going out of control. Is
Right.
something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jerry, your kids are just safe and happy and healthy?
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. My classroom's safe.
Yeah.
Not mine. Wild West.
I've had a couple fall out of their chairs. That's about it. And I'm like, that's on y'all. Y'all was the one leaning.
I was going to say, were they leaning back?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, lean back. Yeah, they lean back and fall out of the way. I told you not to do that. I ain't trying to clean you up out of the carpet.
If a kid does fall back, do you like go over in concern, or do you just sit there and watch them try and get
I
up?
kind of just peek over my screen. I'll be like that. I'm like, you good?
Just
They're like,
peer
yeah.
over
I'm
and be
all
like,
I'm like, all right,
mm.
don't do that again. Like, get back up.
oh
Get
my
up.
gosh. That's wild behavior.
That's when
you
you
lose
give
your
'em-
chair
you give 'em
privileges.
one of
Sit on the
these.
floor.
Yeah. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
yep. Well,
It's hard to fall off the floor. Sit on the floor.
honestly, some of them do need to get their chairs confiscated at this
Just
point.
publicly, I don't make my kids sit on the floor. I want to say that because somebody in a comment of a clip we posted this week got mad at me. They were like, do you actually shoot your classroom like a dictator? And I was just thinking, yeah, whatever gets you to follow me on Instagram. That's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Double down. Absolutely double down. People get real upset about
people
stuff like
fed up.
that.
I'm like, yeah, I thought that was kind of the whole thing. I thought we were dictators, so that's what we did.
That's what we're doing
We
all
called the
day.
shots. Yeah, that's why we got paid. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
These
All
kids
right,
can
well-
write this learning targets.
Yeah. It's all about the learning targets, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we fully wrap up, Jayson, where can people find you online and what shows do you have coming up?
Oh, you can find me online at Jayson Cross Comedy. That's JaysonCross Comedy. Jayson Cross Comedy.
Jayson, what shows do you have coming up?
April 25th, I will be at the Laughing Academy in Northern Illinois. At the Laughing Academy, April 25th. It'll be a great show. Everyone should come out. And May 2nd, I will be at Comedy Bottles in Rockford, Illinois.
Awesome. Sounds good. So guys, make sure you go and check out Jayson and go to his shows. If you're in the area, go check it out. Or even if you're not in the area, make a journey because they sound super, super fun. Jerry, what do you have coming up?
I will be at Columbus Funny Bone with Joe Dombrowski April 23rd and 24th, I think.
Amazing.
I don't know. Google it. But I'll be opening for Joe Dombrowski in Columbus third week of April, Thursday, Friday. I think early show Friday is already sold out. Everything else that I got going on, Raleigh Comedy Festival this weekend, they'll have already happened by the time this podcast comes out. So check out my Instagram at Comedy by GP, TikTok at Comedy by GP for the highlights from that. And if you're in Columbus, Ohio, come and see me. If you're in North Carolina, come and see me. I'm always in North Carolina because that's where I live, and my car does not go very far.
Perfect. And then I am going to be doing Teachers Lounge in Nixa, Missouri and Kansas City at the end of April. And I'm going to be in New Orleans in May. And thank you guys so much. Jayson, thank you so much for coming on today. This was so fun.
Thank you so much.
And if you guys have thoughts about what we talked about today, you can hit us up, Andrea at human-content.com, or you can contact me at Educator Andrea on Instagram or TikTok. Or you can contact the whole Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods. And if you want to catch the full video episodes, they're up every single week on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. I am your host, Andrea Forkham. All right, well, Jerry is suddenly, miraculously, completely muted, but he's Jerry Patoka, and our guest today was Jayson Cross. Our executive producers, yes, thank you. And our executive producers are Andrew Forkham, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke. Our editor is Andrew Sims. Our engineer is Jason Pertizo. Our music is by Omer Benzvi. To learn more about How to Survive the Classroom's program, disclaimer, and ethics policy, and submission, verification, and licensing terms, you can go to podcasterandrea.com. How to Survive the Classroom is a Human Content production.
How to survive the classroom.
Thank you so much for watching. Want more of How to Survive the Classroom? You can watch more episodes right now. Just click on that little box over there. You see it? And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Okay, bye.